pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Peterson here.
Takarian
Peterson here.
here.
Shabilsky here. Grosvenor here. There are no citizens' comments, and there's no correspondence. So let's go to the approval of our minutes of our regular meeting of July 19th. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Approval of minutes of our special meeting of August 2nd. A motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Next item is the voucher list for August. A motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion been made and second. Is there, all those in favor say aye. Motion carried. Report on the water system performance.
Mr. Roberts is out of town, so I've asked Mr. Beardsley to provide update, and Mike did provide a couple things I put at your place. BOWC distribution operations for July and August, and then part of the close for this month. So, Glenn, you want to take her away?
Evening, 7540 68th Street, we had a customer call. They transferred their well over water before making sure they had city water. So we had to dig up the curb stop. Charles Court, customer had a bad valve in her basement. Curb stops broke driveway. Facilitate the plumber valve in the house. Southwood Drive, curb stop in a driveway. Get a whole new box on before they pour the driveway. Out at Forest Home by Jefferson Terrace, we had a hit hydrant. Nobody called it in. Found it when we were locating. The whole top was gone, and whoever hit it took it. 51st Street south of Utes just had one hit. That was on site, so that one was insurance. Friday we had a 16 break out on 35th. Luckily it's not in lane traffic. Hopefully tomorrow that'll get concreted. Waiting to get somebody out to patch the road. Road project is done. And yeah, there's our load to get. So we're kind of keeping what we have on stock for ourselves. Till that houses get built, emergency funds. And Mike was at Tri-County Water Meeting.
So if you unhit the fire hydrant,
Correct. Shouldn't.
should automatically be a shut off at that point that's below.
Yeah, only if it breaks off the way it should. Plunger will hold tight. But if it gets hit hard enough, it can snap it off down below and then it's off down below and then water's.
Good to know.
If you're familiar how they're built, so you come off the main, there should be a valve, shuts everything off, and that should be off. And then it comes out, and the elbow comes up for the hydrant part. So the hydrant gets hit, unless it affects the valve.
Okay, good. Thank you. You wanted to discuss any of this? Or is this
Just to let you know, these are the flows, and I've actually asked, probably starting next month, we'll give you a complete month's worth of data. I know last month we just gave you half month, so people are watering.
Okay. Next item, thank you. Unfinished business, item A. Also, public water supply of Franklin, 2024, board meeting to closed session. Pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.851E to deliberated upon information, terms, and provisions of the potential provision of public water supply to the city of Franklin as related to the city, Franklin municipal water utility and its customers in 2024 and beyond, and the potential negotiation of terms and thereto, including not limited to potential amendments to Oak Creek to provide water at wholesale to Franklin, potential improvement terms with alternate public water supply sources, including but not limited to the city of Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Water Works, financial analysis study of long-term water supply, and the investing of public and governmental action in relation to for competitive and bargaining reasons, and to re-enter open session at the same place thereafter to act upon such matters as discussed therein as deemed appropriate. Is there a motion to do so?
Motion?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Peterson, aye.
Carrie and I.
Motion carried.
Aye.
Motion carried. Water tower design update.
So I told Will he didn't have to come tonight. I did ask for a brief note, to put that before you. Will was here this afternoon. We had a meeting with the firm. So just kind of read through his notes. DNR approval. Comment was made by somebody that seems like the DNR review section has lost anyone who knows anything about water. I've heard a couple other folks make an agreement that seems to be the case for whatever reason. So I think we're getting close on a permit. We asked, I got a question from the reviewer the other day asking a few very minor questions, and then we answered them quickly. So I am very hopeful that we will have our permit in hand very soon. He notes here that the timeline for their approval ends on this Saturday, so they're making a push to get this done.
Is this one of those where if they don't do anything, it's approved?
It is. The timeline for approval expires Saturday. Following DNR approval, we expect the DOT will issue this to do a workout on Highway 100. We had a meeting today with KLM. KLM is an expert as far as the inspection of tanks, steel coatings, those sorts of things. So we had a conversation how we're going to include his services or someone's services with his qualifications into the bid spec. So the contractor will have to include that as part of their services, but they'll work for it. We just need to determine when to bid the project. I've talked with Will that we want to make sure that we have at least 6 weeks, if not longer. Seems like every contractor is busier than busy. We will have a mandatory pre-bid meeting. So we're going to make, we should have a pretty good feel for the contractors that will show up. I know several contractors looking forward to bidding it, but I want to make sure that we give them plenty of time. It's talking today, paint, striping paint. Used to be 10.5 cents about 3 years ago, and we're told to expect to pay over 35 cents next year per linear foot. It's just everything that's mechanical, anything with iron, anything with steel. It's just absolutely crazy, the skyrocketing prices this year. Having a tower, you know, the bottom part's going to be concrete, the top will be steel. So we're going to see how that bids come in. Hopefully they're good, but we'll find out.
Glenn, on this email from Will, is the city you, Franklin? Who's the city in it? I guess to work with KLM.
Yeah, Mike and myself, we had.
Okay, got it. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep. So, yeah, he probably didn't mean the official answer by someone. Yeah, city staff. Well, Mike has known this gentleman for many, many years, and he's known to be one of the area as far as inspection. So when you inspect a tank goes up, even though Will's firm has done a lot of utility work and built towers and such. It's a very specialized niche as far as inspecting the welds, inspecting the paint coatings. There's new paint coating coming out next year. That's a requirement. Paint coating coming out next year. That's a requirement. To have somebody very, very intimately familiar with all those issues, who works on multiple towers at the same time, is good to have on board.
So there's a new paint that's coming out that's going to be a requirement.
Yeah, so there's a I understand it's a painting coating system for inside the tower, somewhat. So, a contractor will give you a warranty for a year. When they're done, they walk away. But obviously, the water tower, we want to make sure that coating on there lasts a good 25 or more. Important to have it.
Seems like the paint company had a warranty too.
They provide a warranty, but not for 25 years. So you have to make sure that it's put on right, the conditions are right, and so there are specialty firms out there that do this, and that's what Kale.
Okay, anything else? Any other questions? Item, new business? Discuss South 100 project.
Just want to make you aware that DOT projects, we're in there right away, and they decide to do a project. If we're in the way, we have to move. What's made that difficult for city staff on a variety of issues is the fact that DOT's been getting a lot of funding from federal government, so their schedules are increasing a lot faster. So we know projects were coming that may have been a 25, 26 project might now be a 23 project because they're getting more federal funds to do road projects. And you really don't know what plans. So this project is Highway 100 from Rawson to College. I would tell you that when we thought that they could move their sidewalk about 2 feet, we were going to save a bunch of money, but they decided that they are not going to move the sidewalk 2 feet. So latest estimate, and we're still trying to work on the estimate. I can get it in for our budget, but it's hopefully less than 300, but it could be $300,000 to $400,000 of the water hit. We just don't know until we finish no plan. So we've hired Foth to do the work for us. They are taking every little place it has to have a hydrant extended. Every little place it has to have a hydrant extended 2 feet or 4 feet or whatever it is. We're adding all those up. We're going to ask the DOT to bid that out with their projects, so we won't have to hire a contractor to do it. They'll just do it for us, but they'll charge us when all is said and done. Probably 24 is when we'll get the bill. And then, in addition, you should know that provide a water main from Phyllis to Herda. This is the it's an access road off of Lover's Lane. So the houses along it are still addressed off of Lover's Lane, but when you pull out of the driveway, you pull off on this access. So there's like everything up there has public water except for 8 houses on this road. So we're going to add water main along this access road. We will do that ourselves. We'll bid it out. We'll have our contractor do it right before or during the road project. That's likely to happen in 24.
Did these residences request water, or we're just giving it to them?
We surveyed them, and we got about half responses, and mostly yes, some no's. So it was kind of a mixed bag. If you look at the map up there, everyone's got water access except for roads. So we're going to, while the DOT has everything tore up, Council decided.
Is that going to lower the cost to them ultimately?
It will, because we won't have to pay for the restoration and so forth. We can just dig through asphalt and sod and concrete, whatever. Install the water main, kind of leave it for them to do the finishing, cleanup. So it will save us some. So you'll see that with our budget discussions.
Part that the state does for the 100 project. They'll be installing, fire going to be moving.
They'll be moving though.
And are we going to inspect what's happening, or you're going to assume it'll all be fine?
We could provide inspection. They will have inspectors up there. I know on 27th Street, we like to do our own inspection with our staff. That happened. For things like the Phyllis to Herda, we'll have consultant do the Phyllis to Herda. We'll have consultant do the inspection for us. But this other one, it's just you know that they're doing it on Tuesday, so you go out there on Tuesday, spend an hour or so watching them. But it's about a 2-year construction project. The first year, 23, they're going to work on. 24, they're going to work on northbound.
It's north of the bridge. Because we just redid the bridge.
Yeah, so to start the bridge and go up, that bridge is a crossing. So start the bridge and go north to College. It should look like what they did in Hills Corners. It'll bring that same flavor.
when they get, this got pushed up, is it because the roads need it, or because they just have the money and they can get them quicker by doing
Both. So if you've been paying attention to the stimulus
Yeah,
funding
no,
stuff,
okay.
there's a lot of money coming down for roads. So DOT is moving almost every project up if the schedule will allow it, so they can spend this. So, but to answer your question, the road did need it. They were out there weeks ago, or maybe last week, doing crack seal, and it's like, why are you spending money doing
Exactly,
this?
that's what I was just wondering, because they were just doing that. They've been doing that, so whatever. And if people want to get paid, they want to get paid. People don't want to get paid.
Do we know with the county if they're getting any of those funds for any of the roads in Franklin? Any of the counties, so even
So-
Ross and beyond that,
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know how they're funding them, but I can tell you next year, Forest Home will be tore up all year, including during the fair.
Yeah.
Um,
but that's still state.
no, that's
still
a
state.
county road.
Is it county in that section?
Yeah, that's a county road.
As a state, the county's funding flows through the state, which comes from the feds. I mean, I would think some of those roads that we have got to get addressed. I'm assuming they're doing it, but
So-
I don't know.
For our roads, so yeah, again, I can't address how the county. I do know that this year they're doing 76th Street
Yeah.
around the bridge. But Forest Home is the only one that I know of that the county in the future.
Okay.
I will tell you that city roads, I would love to get my hands on some of that. They have increased funding, but we have to compete with the Milwaukee metro area, and there's as much funds as there are coming down, there's still not enough funds to get to our roads that could prioritize. Unfortunately.
Anything else?
That's all I have to report, sir.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.